First of all, thanks for giving this opportunity. Our company, eOxigen Automotive, we focus primarily on resource development. When I say resource, it's more focused on manpower. When I say manpower, EVs we all know as a sector, or renewability is going to blow up as a big demand sector, both for internal as well as external consumption, and India being a very manpower centric, manpower heavy country. We have been into training for EV related engagements on the technology side with Automotive Skill Development Corporation and Electoral Sectoral Skill Council of India. Having said that, we ourselves understand that EV is going to give us a challenge vis-a-vis ICE as in petrol based vehicles, and we are required to do in 7 years what we probably took 40 years to develop on the petrol side. The burning requirement is because of the planet warming up, as well as EVs protecting that environment by a reduction of carbon emission, which typically is done when you utilize petrol or fuel driven electric vehicles. We want to contribute a lot towards that because we stay in Delhi, and Delhi is one of those cities as a national capital which is I would say at the hearing end and the bearing end of the pollution cycle. Every winter we have some crazy amount of pollutions. The PM level is not very healthy for the human life cycle. So we want to contribute towards that segment. So we are contributing through consultancy, training, focusing on EV manufacturing in India. So we have what we call as the 4 E's or the 5 E's, which is education, employment, entrepreneurship and environment. These are the key areas that we are focusing on in eOxigen Automotive Private Limited. As it suggests, it's electric oxygen, that's how the name has come.
Your thought on the recent impositions by the Ministry of Environment on the recycling of electric batteries?
Which is quite correct. In fact, you would be surprised that recycling in India has already started off. The Kabadiwala business model has been one of the oldest as far as India is concerned. We don't let go of anything. Coming from a typical middle class Indian, we didn't never throw anything unless and until the last value is extracted from that particular product. It may have been in tatters. Batteries obviously are undergoing the similar kind of treatment because batteries essentially have very critical and high value elements like cobalt, nickel, lithium. I'm talking about the lithium batteries. If you look at the lead acid also, the batteries typically get recycled and come back into the market. Only the internal acid and the cathode anode is changed. It hits the market back. Probably it goes through its cycle 10 or 15 times before it completely disintegrates. In lithium batteries, it has become a model. There are startups which are already doing it. I know of 2 who are already doing in Delhi NCR. And it makes perfect sense because they are selling it as raw material, which probably would take as much amount of time, effort, money and energy to get it from the mines.
What is the future? How do you see the future of electric vehicles as compared to the hydrogen?
It's going to boom like crazy. But as I told you, it's a highly disruptive business. So there'll be some who will really make big name. There'll be many who will sink also. It's a double-edged sword. Like any new business, it is a double-edged sword. Many people are going to learn around. Those who are efficient will obviously survive and grow a fairly big amount. I would say disruption to the large extent because it is going to threaten a lot of our current existing business models as well as names in the particular industry, especially automobile industry.
And how instrumental is eOxigen going to play? How instrumental role is?
We are a small startup. We are engaged. We see India at the fulcrum of this development. Right now, electrical vehicle, if you see, is predominantly dependent upon China. They probably visualized it, say, 2 decades before. They saw a chance to basically break down or compete vis-a-vis, say, the ICE business or the fuel-driven industry. They saw their chance and they have already set their, I would say, deck of cards, or they've played their chess very, very properly in terms of procurement, etc. India will have to play its game very, very sensibly. We are living in an ecosystem which is highly disruptive because you never know what kind of emergency comes from where. We just came out from COVID and then we are already facing the consequences of the Russian and Ukrainian war. It has had tremendous consequences on supply chain. And there is one more event in eastern part of the world, that is the China-Taiwan conflict. If that happens, it is going to disrupt this industry furthermore in a crazy manner. So people today want to, decentralize their procurements completely from one geography, and India plays a very pivotal role there. There are many countries which want India to come and play this role.